Welcome to Rebirth Podcast. I'm your girl, Shea. Tonight, we're going to be talking to the amazing Cheri Mona. We're going to be talking about how she began her healing journey and how she's taken healing abroad. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to tonight's podcast.
Out of the ashes we will soar to a destiny we can't ignore. Heartbeats echo through the night with every dream and endless flight. Together strong, let's break the mold. Our rebirth and stories told. It's time to renew, rebuild, restore. Unlock the dreams we've been waiting for. Rise up higher, more and more. With every breath, a new dawn's roar.
Welcome to Rebirth Podcast. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's podcast. If you have not done so already, please subscribe. Please subscribe. And make sure you like, share this video. Tonight, I'm excited. I got my sister friend on the couch with me, and her name is Cheri Mona. And we're going to be talking about her healing journey and how she's turned her healing experience and she's sharing it with amazing women across the world. Please help me welcome Cheri Mona to the Rebirth Podcast.
Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm
yes.
good.
Yes.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are fresh back from Costa Rica. We just came back a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And we had a great time. We had a great time there with the women. So before we get into what you're doing,
Okay.
I want to talk a little bit more to you about how did you get there, right? The beginning of the year,
Mhm.
I had shared with everybody that healing,
Mhm.
I'm on this journey of just healing and what it means to heal yourself, going through your own healing. And of course, I was going through a healing myself in regards to my physical,
Right.
after having spine surgery. But even going through my own physical healing, I found myself having to also go through an emotional healing as
Mhm.
well, right? Because life has been lifing.
Yes.
It has been lifing, but I believe that your healing journey is ongoing. It's
Right.
always ongoing. There's no end to it, because as soon as you heal from one thing, there's something else that is now presenting that you need to heal from. So first, I said a mouthful. Please let the people know who you are, a little bit about yourself, and then let's get into what
Okay.
healing means to you.
As Shea said, my name is Cheri. Listen, I forgot my name. Okay.
Okay.
My name is Cheri Simone
Mm-hmm.
Starling Morris, and everybody knows me as Mona.
Yes.
A lot of people call me Cheri, so
Mhm.
Cheri or Mona.
Mm-hmm.
I am a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
I am a God-fearing woman.
Over and over again, business owner.
Yes,
May
over
I-
and over.
May I add?
Yes, over and over and over. Yes, so and I still work full time, so I
Mhm.
wear many hats.
Yes, you do.
I love God. He
Mhm.
is the center of it all.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's who
Yeah.
I am.
So,
right?
how do you do it all? She's a mother. She's a wife.
Yes.
So when I say multi-business owner, multi-entrepreneur, she
Yes.
owns several businesses. Okay. And still has a full-time career.
Yes, I
Right.
do.
We say these things a lot. Women can do it all. And we can do it
Mhm.
all. We can. But it also comes at a cost
It
sometimes.
does.
Right.
It comes out of sleep deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
Just not being able to show up sometimes when you
Mhm.
want to show up,
Mm-hmm.
or even when you show up, you're so tired and drained
Yeah.
that you're like putting on that mask,
Yeah.
right? But I thank God for who He is,
Mhm.
right? Because He gets me through it all,
Mhm.
pretty much. He gets
Mhm.
me through it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So
When did you start your journey of faith? with your relationship with God?
Well, I started as a young child.
Uh-huh.
I grew up in the Baptist church, and it's always been embedded in
Mhm.
me. And I think as I became an adult, I strayed away. Then I came back. So it was like in and out. You know how you jump rope?
Yeah,
You like,
double dutch.
right, right. So I think on my healing journey,
Yeah.
it was okay, no more
Mhm.
straddling the fence. You have to be
Mhm.
all in,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Because it is so important that I needed that to stay grounded,
Yeah.
right? Because at one point I just thought I was gonna
Mhm.
lose it. Like
Mhm.
I thought I was literally gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Just life in.
Yeah.
But
Life in.
one thing I know, the
Yeah.
Lord is always Lord. And so
Right.
as long as
Right.
he still sits on the throne, I'm gonna be
Exactly.
okay. I'm
Exactly.
gonna be okay.
So at what point for you um what was the signs for you
Mhm.
that you felt yourself like, okay, I'm not okay, right? Because I
Mhm.
think we as women, as Black women
Mhm.
specifically,
Right.
we have a hard time saying that we're not okay because the world
Right.
and generational says that we have to be okay,
Okay. Right.
right? We have to carry certain things, we have to wear certain hats, we have to be the strong Black woman.
Right.
So what did that look like for you when you were finding yourself like unraveling, if you will, a little bit?
Um, for me, it was just the pressures, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pressures of every day.
Mm-hmm.
Really not doing what I wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
but just going through the
The
motions.
motion, yeah.
Just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Working, being a wife, being a
Mm-hmm.
mother.
Mm-hmm.
But the pivotal point up, I can't speak, but it's okay. The
You're
pivotal
fine.
point for me was, and I can just tell you, a little bit about um my story in reference to starting that healing journey,
Mm-hmm.
right? So some people may have heard it, some people may haven't, going through marital issues,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, trying to trust God through it,
Yeah.
going through just outside forces, even
Mm-hmm.
friendships, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Um it- Dealing with friendships, dealing with and it's me, right? It's me, right? So at the point that I knew that I knew I wasn't enough,
Mm-hmm.
right? I knew I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't
Mm-hmm.
enough. I kept seeing myself going down this spiral, like, okay, oh no, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then you enter in a room where everybody's
Right.
at,
Right.
and in that room it's full of people. You're saying, hey, how you
Yeah.
doing? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
But deep down inside, I'm lonely.
You're lonely.
Deep
In a
down
room full
inside,
of people, you're lonely.
in a
Yeah.
room full of people, and I'm like, man, I don't want to be here, but
Yeah.
why am I here?
Yeah.
No, you got to be here because you got to show up for them. You
You
got to
gotta
show
show
up.
up.
You have to show up,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
um, no matter what I was feeling at that moment,
Mm-hmm.
I had to put my feelings aside.
Yeah.
I felt like I had to put my feelings aside continually for everybody,
Yeah.
and just coming out of um just doing things that I know that I didn't want to do, but I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make sure that I showed up,
Right.
right? Just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that I showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So, fast forward, I just kept going down,
Mm-hmm.
right? But still smiling through it
Yeah.
all, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I need to find a therapist,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Because I
Yeah.
think you could sort it out. People say pray, read the Bible. Yeah, that's enough.
Right.
But God created therapists for a
Right.
reason, right?
Absolutely.
And you
Absolutely.
and you sometimes want to find someone who is non-judgmental,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, will tell you about yourself in a
Mm-hmm.
nice, kind way to
Mm-hmm.
help you kind of, okay, well, it's not them, it's me,
Mm-hmm. Right.
right?
Right.
And I have to fix me.
Right.
So going through this whole journey, I I saw a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't feeling, we didn't connect.
Mm-hmm.
So I think stopped going to therapy, then still going down this rabbit hole, right? So then I said, okay, you really have to find a therapist. You really
Mm-hmm.
have to find a therapist, right? So I looked and looked and called and looked and
Mm-hmm.
called and
Yeah.
looked. And and I think it was like around a pandemic too.
Mm-hmm.
So everything was going on. Everybody was feeling it, right?
Right. Yeah. That was hard. It was a hard time.
It was really hard
a hard
times,
time.
right? So during that journey of me trying to find a therapist, and I'm trying to make a long story short because I know I'm babbling on. Right?
That's okay.
So in that journey of trying to find a therapist, my primary care doctor said, well, check this website out, and maybe you could connect with the therapist, right?
Yeah.
So I went there, I called several, they said, oh, we'll call you back, blah 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 blah. And I just said, Lord, you have to find me somebody that I could connect with, because I have so much pain that either the pain is going to overtake me, but I need to defeat it. I'm trusting in you that you would send me. So I went to the website and I saw this therapist, right? And I read the therapist bio, and I shared it with a friend of mine, and she was like, is that what you're writing to? Is that the story that you're telling your therapist?
Right?
I said, no. I said, this is her bio.
This is her bio.
This is her bio. And then that healing journey began for me, because to get a call back, to connect to somebody, and that's how God does things, right? It's not in our timing. We always want it right now, right? But he's designing it for that perfect person for you to connect with.
Absolutely.
Right? So that was the beginning. For my healing journey.
I applaud you that you didn't stop, right? Because and I tell people all the time, interview your therapist.
Right.
You're not going to connect with everybody. And it's so important to be able to find that person where it's just like, oh wow, you get me. Like this feels good. This feels nice, right? Because especially when it comes down to therapy, because you want to feel safe. You want to feel safe. You want to have the space to say, okay, you know what? I can say whatever I want to say, and this person is not going to judge me. No judgment, So thank you for sharing that. So that's for you guys. If you are looking for a therapist, and maybe you have been in therapy before and it didn't work out the first time, don't give up. Don't stop. That's her story. Don't stop. You got to keep going until you get the right fit, because it is important. And now you've gone through that. You've connected with your therapist. And now things are starting to feel different and look different for you.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's starting to look different. So now the pain that you spoke about, it's not taking over you, but now you have something to combat it with. Right.
And not only that, even in therapy, right, I can remember even going through the process of therapy, even talking to my therapist, Shea Marriott, right? I just had to put that out there, right? I'm cracking up, but okay. But even going through that whole process, right? There were still moments, right?
Yes,
there were still moments, and I think the final moment that really broke me. I have never saw myself like that. And I had so much pressure built up. Like I honestly, and I could be totally transparent, I honestly thought I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
And at that moment, the only person that I could call on was God. I mean, my husband came and said, you all right? Can I help you? I was like, I need God. That's it, right? And I called on his name. I called on his name. I called on his name. And it was like
Yeah.
such a traumatic experience,
Yeah.
but also a good experience.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so after I got through that, talking to God and
Mhm.
just saying, wow,
Yeah.
I went through that. Like, it was really a moment where that that's all I could call her, right?
Exactly. But sometimes he designs it that way.
And he designed
You
it.
know what I'm
And then
saying? Yeah.
it just reminded me of how a diamond,
Mm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
When it's at its purest point,
Yeah.
that pressure and that
Yeah.
heat is so high.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's what he showed me. That's
Yeah.
why, that's it. And it's been on and popping ever since
On
then.
and popping.
Ever since
On and
then.
popping.
Yes,
My
yes.
good friend Levante, she
Uh-huh.
had designed a shirt a few years
Mhm.
ago saying, I got God in my therapist. And
Yeah.
I love that because I don't know where it came from or who
Mhm.
said that you can't have God and a therapist at the
Right.
same time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like he blessed people to be doctors and medical
Absolutely.
doctors, he's blessed us as therapists,
Right.
to handle the mental and the emotional side of things, right?
And it created a safe space for me, right?
Yeah.
It created a safe space to where no judgment zone,
Mhm.
knowing that things that are said to me is coming from a place of love and
Mhm.
purity,
Mhm.
you know, because sometimes when you often talk to your friends,
Yeah.
or your family members, or even you just don't want to talk to them
Mhm.
because that fear
Mhm.
of them you being judged, right?
Right.
That fear of you
Right.
being judged, that fear of on the outside it looks like you have it all together.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
when you bring this up, like, oh my God, y'all going through,
Right.
are you going through? And you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, y'all phony. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
Right.
no, we are
Yeah.
human. And this
Yeah.
is the process that we're going through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
So you going through your own healing journey, and
yeah.
now
Yes.
starting Cheri Mona's. It was formerly called Cheri Mona's Attic
Boutique.
Women's Boutique Women's Retreat,
Yes.
but now it's going to be Cheri Mona Attic
Since
presents Cheri Simone
yes,
Women's
women's
Retreat.
retreat.
So
Yes.
she's the person that is responsible for sending me out of the country every year in May.
Yes.
And I'm so blessed to be a part of this movement. Let's talk about that because I'm so proud of you.
Thank
I'm so
you.
proud of
Thank
you.
you.
And we're coming upon your fifth
My
year.
fifth
Yeah. So I want the camera to
year.
be on you. Put that camera on her
Yes, my fifth
and you talk
year.
about
I am
the whole
super
experience.
like I'm
Yes.
super excited, and the whole experience for me
Mhm.
is just like, wow, God.
Mhm.
And it brings me back to this scripture: all things work together
Yep.
for the good,
Yep.
right? And it just tells me no matter how bad it was looking,
Right.
right? No matter how bad it was looking, no matter how bad I thought it was going, but he already had it
He
designed,
already had
right?
design. Yes.
So I'm super excited to be on my fifth year.
Mhm.
And just from the first one to now, it's like every year I leave like with the aha moment,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So the first year I had the aha moment,
Right.
in the
Right.
lobby. Say, oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
talking.
And the first year
Right.
was Jamaica.
Which your first year was
Yeah.
Jamaica.
Why did you pick Jamaica? I'm just curious. And although Jamaica is one of my
Right.
favorite places ever.
Right.
I love Jamaica. I
I
love
don't know.
Jamaica.
I thought that Jamaica would be a great place to kick it off,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people love Jamaica.
Yes.
They love it, and the cost.
Mhm.
I think it
It's
was
affordable.
affordable,
Mhm.
right? Jamaica was affordable, so that was the first one. I'm tearing up. Jamaica was the first one, and
Mhm.
then we went to my favorite happy place, Aruba.
Aruba.
Yeah, I was super excited there,
Mhm.
so, and for the first one, for me to have 40, almost 50
Almost 50
women,
women. Yeah.
um it was just,
Yeah.
oh, like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not even about me, right?
Mhm.
This whole journey isn't about me.
Mhm.
It's about giving women a safe place,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
No judgment. The same thing that I received,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I wanted them to experience it, but I wanted them to be away.
Mhm.
I didn't want them to be, um, okay, I'm going through something and I'm doing this, and now I'll
Yeah.
go back home,
Right. Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Now
Right.
I'll go
Right.
back home.
Right. Right.
So I just thought it would be great to give them that
Mhm.
opportunity to be somewhere on a
Mhm.
tropical island
Yeah.
and just be able to embrace the sun on their
Mhm.
face, just enjoy sisterhood
Yeah.
amongst one another, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
being poured into as
And being
well,
fed.
right? And being
Absolutely.
fed, right?
Yeah.
So the first year we kicked it off with one speaker,
Mhm. That was me.
which was Shea Marriott, which I was super excited, and I thank you. I don't know if I ever thanked you
Yes, you
for that.
have.
I probably have, right? Right? I probably have, but
Yes, you have.
I mean, just to say okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to say yes.
Just to say yes.
Just to say
Yeah.
yes. Like,
Mhm.
and the women,
Mhm.
right?
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Amazing. Amazing ladies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then year 2 in Aruba.
Yes.
Phenomenal. The
Mhm.
connection.
Mhm.
And every year 3,
Dominican
Dominican
Republic.
Republic,
DR.
right? It was just so wonderful.
Yeah.
And then year 4,
Yes.
here we are,
Costa
right?
Rica.
Costa Rica. And
Oh, it was hot there.
it was hot, right? So with Costa Rica, what was the interesting thing about Costa Rica? It was
Uh-huh.
that I had so many challenges just trying to
Mm.
put it together,
Mhm.
right? And where the enemy didn't want it to happen.
He didn't want it to happen.
He didn't want it to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Had women register, had women drop out, had women say they couldn't go, had
Mhm.
women, who said they were going to go.
Yeah.
And I understand life.
Because he knew what was going to be in store.
He knew what was going to be
He
in
knew
store,
what was going to be
right?
in store. Yeah.
And I just have to honestly say that Costa Rica for me,
Mhm. Mhm.
it was just so eye-opening.
Mm.
Although all of them had their,
Mhm.
their little things,
Mhm.
this year, just hearing from the women,
Mhm.
I mean, with the sidebars,
Yeah.
just thanking me.
Mhm.
One said I would have never experienced the
Mhm.
countries that I'm experiencing
Yeah.
and being poured
And the
into at the same
sisterhood. Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and the sisterhood.
Yeah.
It- the one she said to me, I told them, I encouraged each one of them. I said, listen, bring 2 people next year.
Mhm.
One of them said, no, I can't. she said, because this is my time.
Oh.
You
She wanted to keep it for
she wanted to keep
herself.
it for herself. Yeah. She said, this is my time.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get poured into.
Yeah.
And I don't want that heaviness of home
Yeah.
to like kind of
I
drain.
understand that.
And I
understand that.
said, I understand that. Be selfish. And I appreciate
Be self-full.
self-full, right? That word, right? And I understand, and I understood that because
Yeah.
and then to see the growth of
Yeah.
some of the women.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
women started out saying, I don't do women.
I don't do women.
I don't do women.
Nope.
And every year, Mo, did you start playing it yet? The same one. So
Yes.
and even for me, the women that you think have it all together,
Mhm. Mhm.
and then see their vulnerability right there just fall apart in front of you.
Yeah. I think it's important it's fair to say that not everybody have it together.
Right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Not even myself. I'm a therapist, but I don't have it together.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
People perceive,
Mhm.
right? Because they're
Mhm.
looking at the outside and they
Yeah.
see, oh, she got it together.
Yeah.
She's this. And that's one of the reasons why it was so important for me to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons, because so many people think, oh, you got it together, your husband, you you got a nice house, you do this, you do that.
Like, if you only knew my
You
story, if
only
you knew
knew
what you see the results, but you don't know what
but
it
you
took.
don't know what it took to get there,
Yeah, absolutely.
and how to stay there.
Absolutely.
Right. But
Absolutely.
thank God for the right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You know, Costa Rica, what I saw this year was I seen a level of vulnerability that I didn't see in the last 3.
Right, exactly.
And when I say that, I mean everyone gave themselves permission to just be in the moment. I seen more of the women, and we had a smaller group this time, and it was a very intimate group, which I did like. I like that. It was very intimate. But I saw beautiful women giving themselves permission to be, sharing their stories, sharing the tears, comforting each other, encouraging each other. And even when we did the yacht, usually we be, we turn up a little bit, and we turned up a little bit. But when you looked around, everybody was just relaxing, just chilling, until the Titanic almost happened when we got caught in the storm.
But it let but and that's what I meant
even
by
with that,
just letting the sun hit their beautiful skin, right? Just laying and embracing that moment, right? And new friendships.
Everybody still sending chats. My group message still going off.
So I think I think that is what makes my heart smile.
Absolutely.
And what makes me thank God that He gave me this vision. And sometimes in trauma and in pain comes your purpose.
Absolutely.
Right? In trauma and pain comes your purpose. Right? My trauma turned to my triumph. And I am so happy. And therapy really really, and I think it made me a better person too, right? Because it made me identify my flaws. It made me identify how controlling I am, which I'm no longer. Right? I just be in the moment and accept what it is, and know that I can't change it. So it's okay.
You couldn't change it then. You thought you could, but you didn't. You thought you was in control, but you really wasn't.
But I really wasn't in control, right?
Right.
So and I was just making myself cuckoo for cocoa. Trying to go through it. But I have a wonderful church home now. And I'm loving it. I love my pastors and through the Word Bible Fellowship.
Shout out to them.
Dr. David B. Mills. So shout out to them, Pastor Byrne, and just being around them, the love that they just exuberate onto people.
Right.
It just makes you feel welcome and no judgment. You know what I mean? And I love that. I love that. And that helps me. You know what I mean?
How has your family embraced this new version of yourself?
Well, so I am a mother of 4 sons.
Yes, she's a boy mom.
I am a boy mom, right? And I don't even think they know. Like I think they know, but they're like, oh, you know what I mean? Because we are empty nesters. My husband and I, we are empty nesters, and we just enjoy each other now. And I think, and I don't think it's so much of them recognizing the change in me. I think it's me recognizing the change in me.
And that's really what's important.
Right. I think it's me recognizing the change in me. And if they do see the change in me, they don't say anything, but I think they just embrace it. Right. Like I think my husband sometimes is shocked when I'm not going off the hand. So I'm great. I'm so grateful for him too, because it was a journey for him too. You know what I mean? It was a journey for him too. And
Shout out to Tony.
yes, Tony Talk. That's my man.
My man. Yo, I just gotta put this out there. This woman's laugh to me is so contagious. I love to hear her really like laugh when we're away. And if I say something crazy or something and she just busts out laughing, I just love to hear her laugh. It does.
Oh,
it just
thank you.
I still got the voicemail of
Oh,
you
the
laughing.
voicemail.
Yes.
Oh,
I love it.
That was hilarious.
I love it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm so proud, and I think sometimes as women, right?
Mhm.
I think we set the tone for the household.
Absolutely.
I really do believe that.
Absolutely.
Because as I see myself shifting and changing
Mhm.
and doing things differently, I also see him shifting and changing and doing things differently. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The communication was broken,
Mhm.
but now I see where, okay, the communication is broken on this conversation.
Mhm.
However, let me address it like this.
Mhm.
And then he's receiving it. And then
Yeah.
I'm receiving, because sometimes I could be in my own way, right?
Absolutely.
So we just had an incident, the other day, and it was like, I think, I think it may be in a case where I thought one thing and you thought one thing. I think if we talk about it again, we could have a better understanding.
That's good.
So, and that all came through therapy, because sometimes I would just hold that stuff in with people, whatever. So we just, I think for me, I can't speak on him. For me, I just take the time to kind of wind down in that moment, so I don't lash out.
Right.
Just wind down in that moment, think things through,
Mhm.
think about what was said, think about what the issue was, and then how can I better address it?
Absolutely.
Right. And I think sometimes he's shocked because he's thinking I'm thinking one way,
right?
And I no longer think like that.
Right.
And I'm like, listen, no, I'm not thinking like that. This is how I'm thinking. And it takes a minute to like catch it.
Yeah.
Oh, and okay, maybe
like,
she
this
is
the new version of you.
Yeah, it is.
So we're not gonna argue right now?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You ain't gonna ask me where I'm coming home? Right?
It's one of those moments, right?
Yeah.
It's just like that. But
that's good.
But it's such a great place to be at.
Peace.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace. Be still.
Peace. Yes. And once you get there,
yes,
it's not like I say it all the time. My peace is non-negotiable. Like, I'm not playing
Right.
about that, y'all.
And-
I'm not playing.
And it's so it's so
Not playing.
surprising to me that I'm at this place. Like,
Mhm.
it really is. I'm like, God, wow. I can remember when I was, Lord
Mhm.
God, I thank you.
Mhm.
I can remember when I used to worry about it. Lord, I thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and it's a good place to be at.
Absolutely.
Even with friends, family,
Mhm.
I used to, well, why can't I go out? Well, why don't people ask me out? Like,
Mhm.
I used to worry about that.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, I'm so good at home planning jewelry.
Planning jewelry. Planning jewelry. That's her coping skill.
That's my coping skill.
Planning jewelry.
Planning jewelry. And I can plan jewelry all night.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I love that for you.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
So next year would be the fifth.
The fifth year.
The 5th year. Now we could say 5th annual, right?
Right.
Because remember, wow. Right? I can't believe we were just doing that video year 1. And I remember you saying, well, I can't say annual. It's not annual because this is the first one.
Right.
And now we here on year number 5.
Year number 5.
So let's talk about year number 5 and tell the people, just in case people want to, because people have been asking me.
Right.
Now you have the person that is responsible for this retreat.
Yeah.
She's gonna give the information, and if you guys want to come and you want to jump on this trip, this is the person. You can reach out to her and let her know.
Reach out to me.
Yeah.
Next year we'll be in Jamaica.
We're
gonna go back to where it all started.
Yes.
Right. We're going back to Jamaica, year 5. We're gonna have a phenomenal time. This year it's a little longer. normally it's like 4 nights, but this time it's 5 nights.
Okay.
So it's going to be May 1st through May 6th of 2026.
Yes.
I'm super
Woo.
excited. I just have like, I'm just amazed at how this planning is going.
Yeah.
Information will be out by the end of the month. You can always reach out to me on Facebook, social media.
Yep. Give your handle.
My handle is Cheri Mona Starling Morris. Or you can email me at cherimonasattic@gmail, AOL, or AOL.com.
Okay.
So,
and that's Cheri with a C, y'all.
right. Yes. CHERI.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
inbox me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I am over, like, I'm jumping because I'm just so excited. Like, I can't believe. And then just to look at my story and my journey,
right.
where I've come from and where I am.
Yeah. What are some, I know you can't give it all away because you're still doing a lot of the planning, but what are some of the things that they can expect? So every year, y'all, except for the first year, we do a cruise. We do a nice cruise, and it's always so much fun. But yeah, what are some of the things that they can expect outside of, we got mentioned the speakers?
Right.
And,
Right. So my dynamic speakers, as I mentioned earlier, Shea has been with me from the beginning. And then I said, wow, how can I? Because although I know it wasn't a lot of pressure on you, I just felt that there was things that could have been added, right? So we start off with mind, body, and soul, right? So I said, so the mind is more or less of that whole therapeutic,
the mental health
the
piece,
mental health piece,
yeah.
yes. And then the body, I said, let me ask my primary care physician, Angela Davis Brown.
Dr. Brown. Y'all seen her on the show. Shout out to you, Dr. Brown.
Yes. So Dr. Brown.
She's a fun time.
She's a fun time. Yes. She's a
so
fun
innocent.
time. So innocent. Yes. And I love her. I love her talking about knowing her stuff. She knows it. And just so innocent. So I love her. And then the spiritual piece, right? So when I was on the journey to find that spiritual person, I kept going back and forth. And I said, okay, God, you got to send me somebody. And it just came by a touch, right? This person was at my house, and I hosted something because I'm always
you're always doing something
to entertain, right? and to make a long story short, I was fussing about something. Oh, I can't believe that. And she touched my hand and she said, it is okay. And something just went through my soul, right? So there you have it, mind, body, and soul. And that was the wonderful elder Tracy.
Yes.
Walker.
Shout out to you, Tracy.
Shout out to Tracy. Lady T.
Lady T. Yes.
So, and that was it for me.
Yeah.
That was it. Like, to bring these 3 dynamic, unapologetic women together to just pour into these other ladies, right? And I think my selection is on point because everybody brings something different.
Right.
Everybody brings something different.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody gets something from each other.
Yes.
You learn from each other. That's one of the things that Tracy did point out in her presentation is, we learn from you, just because we have you, and there's all ages there, right? So you have young, you have older, and it's just like, just because you're older doesn't mean you can't get something from the younger person, and vice versa. So it's been a joy. I love it. I have a great time every time I go. And so for me, I know you have your topics of what, like, this year was you're worthy. Right. So for me, I pray and I ask God, what is it that you want me to deliver to these women? I do that. And that's how I come up with my material. Because I don't know what they need to hear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And yes, the topic may be you're worthy, but there's so many areas that you can
right.
go on. And so that's how I prepare. I pray and I said, what is it that I need you to take over? What is
Right.
it that you want me to deliver to these women when I go?
Right.
And sometimes I'm just like, okay, God, hey,
Did you hear me?
it's like, it's coming up. Like,
Right.
what are you waiting for?
Right,
And then
right.
sometimes it's just like, it's there
there,
right away.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and this is how I know that is his message, because, and I shared this with you when I was speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know I'm I get emotional quick anyway. But when I was speaking to these women in Costa Rica, I don't know what, I can't remember what exactly it was that I said, but something, I had chills come over me. All I remember was just cocking my head to the side, and I was like, but I felt that it was him. I felt that God was present.
Yes.
And when I looked, there was not a dry face in front of me at all. So that's when you know.
That's when you know.
That's when you know.
Yep. And I had to, and this is why I think it was so powerful for me, because like you said, there was not a dry eye.
Mm-hmm.
All the women were sharing their stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had to take a step back, sit over in the corner, and just boo, do that ugly cry for a moment. Right? Do that ugly cry for a moment. So it was just so powerful.
Yeah.
It was 18 dynamic women.
Yeah. From all walks of life. All over.
All over.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing.
It was.
Amazing.
I believe, I truly wholeheartedly believe, unless you cut it off to a certain limit, I truly believe next year is going to be the biggest one.
I think so, but I think I may need to cut it off.
You may need to cut it off.
I may need to cut it off. Only because I want, sometimes when it be too much, it might be just too much. But the way I think I want to deliver it next year, it may be like the more the merrier per se. But I think I am going to cut it off. You're going to have a limit. I think I'm going to have a limit. And I think my limit may be 75. If not 75.
Well, that's still the biggest. Yeah, that would still be the 60. Biggest one. Yeah.
It's between 60 and 75. Yeah. I've been teetering back and forth. Okay. With the number. Yeah, because
let me start preparing now.
Yes. And I could share like next year's topic. It's funny how God changes things up, and you don't even realize it changed, because before it was mind, body, and soul with the subtopic, and then this year for me it became self-care university, right? So next year I'm going to continue on with the self-care university, and I think we're going to hone in on confidence, walking in your confidence. Yes. Yeah. So I think that I think after I know I'm worthy, right? But I need to be confident, in that. So that's going to be the next topic. And the session is going to be different. Everything is going to be different next year. We're going to have an award ceremony,
the gala.
It's going to be so
it's gonna be a good time.
Amazing. It's going to be a good time. Yep. And we always do a sunset sale.
Yes.
And I think that is so important.
It's beautiful.
It's just beautiful.
It's
just
so pretty.
Seeing. And then this year, one of the ladies, and I know we all individual, we pray, throughout the conference, we pray. But this year, one of the ladies said, "Hey, Mona, can we do a Sunday morning, a sunrise prayer?"
Yeah, that was good.
And that was good.
I didn't make it because I got sick.
Right. Well, okay. Well,
yeah, you got sick too. We both was next to each other,
right?
Sick. But they went on. They still had it.
They still had it. And I just thought that was so powerful. And and I thank God for that, because I don't have all the answers, right? And so for one
That
of the
was good.
ladies to suggest that to
Yeah,
me,
that was good.
it could be something that she needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's within reason, if it makes sense, I'm never gonna say,
Yeah.
not gonna say, oh no, we're not gonna do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
And whoever show up, show up.
Yeah, just like the year before we did
did the
well,
mind-
last year we did
Yeah.
the mindfulness walk.
We wanted to do it this year, but
Yes, listen. Where's the camera? Listen, okay. Okay. So what had happened was I usually lead the mindfulness walk on the beach, and it's so beautiful. And we did that in DR, and
Yeah,
it was
it was
absolutely
beautiful,
gorgeous.
yes.
It was a great experience. When we came back from doing a mindfulness walk, we gathered and we debriefed and we talked about what each woman noticed during that time,
Right.
because the whole idea was to be mindful while you're walking, which means no talking. Very silent, which Dr. Brown, she struggled with, but she did it. Yay.
Yes, she did.
So this year there's monkeys on the beach. And guess who was not doing a mindfulness walk? Because it was no way in the world I would have been quiet during that walk.
Right. I wouldn't have.
So we decided not to do that. And
Yeah.
instead, someone suggested the
prayer.
prayer,
And
which
it
was really, really
perfect,
good.
and it was really good.
Yeah,
Yes,
which was
it
good.
really
So,
good.
which that's just a perfect example of sometimes it doesn't have to be how you plan it. It's
Right.
okay to go off, you
Right,
know, the
right.
schedule a little bit, and you never know
But
what
it
you're going to
still
find.
was powerful.
It was
right?
powerful. It was still powerful.
The walk was
Yeah.
powerful. The
Mhm.
prayer was powerful.
Mhm.
So it
Absolutely.
still kind of fit
Yes.
into the
Yeah.
whole
But what we
dynamic.
wasn't going to do was give power to the
To the
monkeys.
Absolutely
So
not.
So yeah, that
Absolutely
wasn't
not.
happening. But
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you. I
Thank
really
you
wanted
so
to
much.
just sit down and celebrate you and just talk about it, because people have been asking me, like, what are you doing? Like, where are you going? Like, what is this? You know, and me, I'm like, no, I'm going by myself. I enjoyed my time.
And you,
I enjoy my
I'm
time.
very territorial during that time.
She is very territorial. It's okay. It's okay. But it is a great time,
Yeah,
and I'm
it
so proud of
is.
you. I'm glad that you're
Thank
doing it because
you.
it's needed. And
you.
I'm so, as I said, I'm very proud of everything that you're doing. I'm excited for you. I'm
you.
excited for the 5th year. So if you guys are interested, Cheri shared her information. Please, please make sure you reach out to her directly. Don't be reaching out to me. No, I'm only playing. You can reach out to me and I could connect
Yeah.
you. But yeah, I'm very excited for you. And thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Oh,
coming
you're
on and sharing
welcome.
your story. And to the ladies, that's what I was saying. To the ladies, you guys are amazing. I really, really enjoy myself. I enjoy being in your company. I enjoy you sharing your stories. I enjoyed your level of vulnerability. And my message to you is you are worthy.
Yes, you are.
Keep shining, keep growing. I love you all because I know y'all watching. I know y'all watching because y'all are supportive and you're going to make sure you're
Very
supporting her. So just keep growing. I can't wait to see you all again next year for the 5th annual Cheri Mona presents Cheri Simone.
Yeah, baby. No, but I also forgot to mention that if they really want to reach out to me, I do have a website. It's cherisimone.com, and that's CheriSimone.com.
There you have
and there I
it.
have my vintage.
Yes,
because I'm in
yes.
vintage jewelry.
She's in vintage jewelry. She does the signs, the
yard
yard signs,
signs.
like for graduations and all of that. I tell you, she got a lot of stuff going on, y'all.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
when
I
I
do.
tell you she got 5 jobs, this is her. Probably more than that.
Yeah.
But I'm very proud of you, and just
Thank
continue
you.
your success. Continue to allow God to use you.
Yes, I will.
And
do
I'm
that.
very grateful for you.
Thank you. And I'm grateful for you as well. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for just going on this journey with me, right? And thank you for just being honest. I appreciate that, right? Because sometimes you have to reel me in, right? And I appreciate that.
Yes.
I really do. I really do
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yes.
This healing journey for me has been amazing, right? It's been amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's just
It's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
on my end to see
Okay.
you grow. It's really, it's been a very
Yeah.
beautiful thing to watch
Yeah.
how you just
Right. Like it's like a
yeah.
puzzle, right? I was just
Mhm.
so broken and shattered, and
Mhm.
just putting it all together
Mhm.
through
Mhm.
God sending
Yeah.
me
Yep.
you and
Yep.
these pieces
Yeah.
of it feels so good. It
Yeah.
just feels so good.
Yeah.
Like I'm in
And
awe.
there's no going back. There's
No,
no going back. There's
absolutely
only
not. Mm-mm.
forward ahead, right? Forward
That's it.
ahead. Because you
That's
know the
it.
enemy will try to trick you, right? He'll be tapping on
Absolutely.
you, be like, come on back on this side. You be like, nope.
Nope.
Nope, 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 nope.
No.
So,
I'm grateful.
yeah. So, guys, make sure you support. And again, if you want more information on next year's trip, because we're going to have an amazing time
Yes.
from May 1st to May 6th. It's going to be in Jamaica, and this will be the 5th annual women's retreat. We're going to have a beautiful time.
Yes,
So
we
make
are.
sure it's going to be limited spots. So
Yeah.
she's going to send the information out at the end of the month. I'm going to share, excuse me, I'm going to share it on here as well. So you guys will be able to see and know when information come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All
See you
right.
in Jamaica.